The Lakers have won 10 out of their last 13 games. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak. They're trending upwards. I got to ask you guys, how are you feeling about the Lakers getting hot at the right time? And what does this mean for the playoffs? Also, the Lakers do have a shot at possibly stealing the 6th seed too. They're only 2 games behind the Phoenix Suns. Or a game and a half, actually.
I'm gonna be honest. Call it delusion, call it crazy, call it what you want. If LeBron and AD is healthy, we're winning a championship. That's it. I said it last year. I said it the year before that. I said it the year before that. I said it the year we won. And I'm going to keep saying it. As long as my GOAT and my Brown are healthy, I like our chances to get anybody. Lakers in 6.
I think I've said, I think Denver's probably the best team in the West, but I only see a few teams that can win the West. OKC, I think, is one of them. Dallas, and I think the Lakers have an outside shot. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think it was those 4. I don't think anyone else has much realistic chance.
1-8 of their last 9 games. They've done a good job at managing James throughout the course of the season. People think that because he's been quote unquote load managing that it's bad for the game, when in reality he's old, so they have to manage him this way. He can't play 82 games every night, and he can't play every night and consistently be on the floor because he's going to break down because he's old. That's just part of it. But I feel like they're in a really good groove right now, and that's largely due to Anthony Davis playing the way Anthony Davis plays on the defensive side of the basketball. I think Damo brought up a really good point, which I have now come to accept, that Anthony Davis is a defender who can score. Those 2 things are not the same. Being a scorer who can defend. No, he's a defensive player who can score. So what I expect him to be is an elite defender. And when he gets buckets, that's extra. When he's 29, when he's 32, that's extra. But if I get him glass cleaning the way he does, when I get him rim protecting the way he does, when I get him man in the paint the way he does, that's expected of him. And I expect him to go deep into the playoffs if he's doing that. If he's doing that in addition to scoring, that means that they're even better, because the other stuff, that means that D'Angelo Russell is rolling. That means that Austin Reeves is rolling. That means all of these other guys are actually rolling because he's putting them in a position defensively for them to be better offensively, whether it's speeding up the game, whether it's getting these guys in transition, stuff like that. So I've come to accept that more today than I did in the past. And I have to admit that from Damo, that Damo brought that to my attention, and watching Anthony Davis more, that I've accepted that. Even though I knew it, it was something that I didn't accept back then, because he even told us that in 2012 in the national championship when he went 1 for 10, when he told us, you guys score the rest of the points, I'll block all the shots, get all the rebounds. That's actually who he is. This is who he is and what he's about. So when he gets to the pros and he actually develops a jump hook, he develops a jump shot, that doesn't negate that I'm still a defensive force, and I've always been this. Now, I'm never going to be Olajuwon. I'm never going to be Shaq on the offensive end. But you know what I am going to be? I'm always going to be elite on the defensive end. And if he's that, and he can continue to be that, and just give them a consistent 20+, that's extra. And I feel like they can make. I feel like they can make a lot of noise in the Western Conference.
People are finally starting to see that. I know what I'm talking about. My Lakers, between Darvin Ham, between Anthony Davis, who ironically this whole year been pretty quiet on the conference. I haven't heard so many people. I haven't heard people calling him soft no more. Kind of crazy. That just kind of died out. The whole soft narrative.
I seen somewhere it was like he played like 90% of his last 100 games.
But
I mean, that would be like 90 something.
I mean, it's crazy, but it's ironic, because if we did hear certain people saying he's soft, the chat would echo it. But now, because no one is screaming it to him, no one's echoing it. Like, no one cares anymore to talk about him now that it's not being screamed and shouted at him. That's super ironic.
I want to say this about that, Damo, because I want to go on record and saying I had AD back from the beginning of this season. When there was people saying that he was playing bad and he could play better, and then when those people saying, well, he's not going to play better because this is just who he is, I was like, AD is balling. I don't know what y'all are looking at right now. Why are we making excuses for AD like he's not getting busy? I was saying that earlier. The Lakers are going to be dangerous to any of the younger teams. OKC, Minnesota. I don't see him winning the championship, just because, like I said earlier, I don't think Bron got the tank like that anymore. And as good as I think AD is, I'm not sure if he'll be able to carry the load, especially let's say if they see Denver again, like Western Conference Finals. You got to have Bron got to play Denver early. I don't think he got the tank to deal with Denver in the later rounds. That's the main reason I don't see the Lakers being able to win another championship. But if somebody took care of Denver for them and they didn't have to see Denver late, then maybe we could talk about it, but they're not going to beat the Celtics.
I think they've done a real good job, and D'Angelo Russell's confidence is through the roof right now, especially how James is looking for him. And we don't talk about this nearly as much, neither, Damo, where I've seen plenty of times where James would hit D'Angelo Russell. Russell would give him the ball back, and James would throw the ball right back to him. Go after him. Don't worry about me. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get mine. Go after him. And that's just a confidence booster for a guy like D'Angelo Russell, for a guy like Austin Reeves. Not only that, I feel like at this point of the season, I feel like they're probably as healthy as they're going to be. And I mean, I think if Darvin Ham can just continue to keep this team afloat and not get in the way, still coach, but not get in the way, and let these guys do what they're doing and just make minor adjustments, which I think he's capable of doing, I think they'll be fine. I don't think that they're winning the NBA championship. I'm not going to go that far, but I feel like they can make another deep playoff run.
I think they've been a good team for the majority of the season. I think what happened was they had that stretch after the in-season tournament where they couldn't win a game, and that's kind of like affected their seeding. They were pretty good before that, and like during the in-season tournament run. Then they fell off during that little post-in-season tournament stretch, and they've just been stuck in the 9 seed ever since. I'm not like, obviously every game counts, so it's all 82, so their seeding is what it is. But without that, I don't know how many games it was, maybe 10, 15 games where they just didn't look good. They've been one of the 5 best teams in the conference damn near the whole time. So,
do you think if they get the 8 seed and Wolves are 1 seed? You feel pretty confident at Mars?
Without Cat, I mean, yeah, I think Cat offers like a level of like he just brings a new dynamic offensively that the Lakers would have to counter. But if you don't have to deal with that, no disrespect to Naz Reid, because Naz Reid absolutely killed my team a couple of days ago. But I still do think it presents a different matchup. Also, Rudy Gobert is still going to be on the floor offensively. So, I mean, I'm not very high on Minnesota. Like, I think they can win a series depending on who they play. But generally speaking, I wouldn't be surprised if they go home in round 1, regardless of who they play. Just 'cause their offense is just not very good to me.
What are they, 8-1 in the last 9?
Yep, they've won 8 of their last 9 games. Yep.
Means they're a serious problem. They should be considered a serious threat to win the Western Conference. And I suspect that depending on the matchup in the first round, which could be very well the 8th seed, which would work out for them, they would see the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if I was the Lakers, I'll feel very confident. If I was the Wolves, I'll feel very confident. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's a dangerous matchup. And I think if Bron and AD are fully healthy, which they appear to be right now, and then you're getting great rotation play from D'Angelo Russell, who wants a little bit of a revenge tour versus the Wolves for discarding him for Mike Conley, and then having Austin Reeves, those shooters, and Gabe Vincent coming off the bench. And then, dealing with Naz Reid. But I think, hey, the Rui Naz Reid minutes could be really interesting. I'm excited. I think the Lakers should feel good.
Joy way.